Have you ever found yourself stepping into a completely new professional setting, maybe moving to a different country, or even just tackling a really complex career path right where you are?
Oh, absolutely. It can feel like you're just, trying to navigate a maze, right?
Exactly. And figuring out those subtle cultural things or the tricky legal details,
Hmm.
it's not just a nice to have, it feels essential.
Totally critical for success. You want to do well, you want to thrive, not just survive.
But yeah, the big question is always how. How do you actually master that path? Avoid the common mistakes.
Especially somewhere that's changing as quickly as, say, Saudi Arabia. It's incredibly dynamic.
Right. Whether you're an expat heading over there or maybe a local professional aiming higher, you need to build a solid foundation. How do you really get a handle on all the complexities?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today.
Yeah, this whole exploration is really built around some incredibly valuable insights. We've curated them from someone pretty exceptional in this field.
Hmm. A real architect of understanding, you could
Right.
say. Our discussion is going to lean heavily on the expertise and the deep knowledge of Bakheit Omri.
Our goal here is pretty straightforward. Pull out the absolute key takeaways, the really actionable stuff from his work. Think of it as a shortcut, helping you get genuinely informed about career success, particularly in the Saudi context.
Yeah, navigating that labor landscape effectively. You can expect some maybe surprising facts, maybe some aha moments.
And practical wisdom you can actually use. We'll aim for thorough, but, easy to digest, no information overload.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's start by getting a better picture of the person whose insights we're drawing on.
Okay, sounds good. Let's talk about Bakheit Amri. His background. It's quite a mix, isn't it? A unique mosaic, really.
It absolutely is. And that's what makes his perspective so compelling for anyone looking at the professional world in Saudi Arabia or even, frankly, beyond.
So starting at the core, he's a Saudi-trained lawyer.
Right. And that's more than just a piece of paper. It means he has this deep, inherent grasp of the local dynamics, the culture.
The way things really work inside the kingdom.
Exactly. And he didn't just study law in a vacuum. He's worked extensively, collaborated with top international experts across all sorts of fields.
Like what kind of fields?
Well, complex corporate law, for one,
Yeah.
but also the finer points of human resources, which is so critical.
Okay, so that collaboration must give him a pretty unique viewpoint, sort of a behind-the-scenes look.
Precisely. He understands the unwritten rules, what really drives decisions in the professional sphere there.
Now, you said this is where it gets really interesting. What makes his insight so valuable?
Because it's not just theory. It's not just book learning. His knowledge is deeply, profoundly grounded in lived experience.
Ah, okay, so he's actually navigating these systems himself.
Daily. From the legal side, sure, but also from that practical cultural angle. This real-world grounding means his advice isn't just legally correct, it's also culturally smart and actually works in practice.
That makes a huge difference. So who would find this essential?
Honestly, anyone trying to understand the Saudi professional environment, expats thinking about moving there, definitely.
Foreign businesses looking to set up shop or expand.
Absolutely. And even just people interested in global labor dynamics more broadly, his perspective is just that insightful.
And you mentioned a lot of this comes from his podcast.
Yeah, that's right. It's called Your Career Success, a great resource for this kind of material.
Good to know. But you also said calling him just a lawyer doesn't really cover it.
No, not at all. That would be a massive understatement. His expertise goes way beyond traditional legal advice.
Into what areas?
Really diverse, very modern fields. We're talking strong foundations in things like artificial intelligence,
AI. Okay.
robotics too, and marketing, even translation. There's quite a range.
Wow. That's not the typical lawyer profile. Is this just like a hobby, or does he actually integrate these?
Oh, he integrates them deeply. It's not just a passing interest. He synthesizes knowledge across these seemingly separate areas.
So how does that actually work in practice? How does that interdisciplinary strength show up?
Well, it's a genuine game changer, for businesses especially. He doesn't just stop at legal compliance, although obviously that's crucial.
Right.
He takes this much more holistic view. He actively shows companies how they can, for example, slash their operational costs dramatically.
Yeah, dramatically.
Sometimes, believe it or not, by up to 70%.
70. Wow.
By bringing in smart, tech-driven improvements to their processes, intelligently integrating technology.
Can you give an example? It's hard to picture a lawyer talking robotics costs.
Sure. Okay, imagine a company handling loads of contracts. Bakheit would first look at it legally. Does it meet Saudi law, regulations, all that standard legal check.
Okay.
But then he'd draw on his AI knowledge. He might say, look, have you considered using natural language processing NLP to automate parts of this review?
Ah, to scan for key clauses or risks automatically.
Exactly. Much faster than a human team could. Or let's switch gears, say it's about supply chains. His robotics understanding might lead to recommendations about using robotic process automation, RPA.
For things like warehousing or inventory.
Yeah, or even last mile delivery, things that directly hit those operational costs and boost efficiency.
I see. So he connects the legal necessity with the operational possibility using tech.
Precisely. It's this unique ability to see the legal side through an efficiency lens using modern tech that's incredibly valuable today. It's an integrated solution few traditional advisors could offer.
That really does sound like a game changer. Now, another crucial piece you mentioned was his international experience.
Yes, absolutely critical. A significant chunk of his formative years were spent in the United States.
Not just a quick trip then.
No, a proper period of firsthand international living. And that experience really broadened his perspective, gave him a deep understanding of very different cultural contexts.
How does that balance with his Saudi roots?
That's the key. He's clearly very proud to be Saudi, deeply connected to his culture and country. There's no question about that.
But the time abroad added another layer.
Exactly. It gave him this almost unparalleled insight into global ways of thinking, different communication styles. It makes him an exceptional bridge builder between cultures.
And you're saying it's more than just language fluency.
Oh, much more. It's about deep cultural intelligence, understanding the values underneath the words, the communication styles direct versus indirect, the unspoken expectations that shape every single interaction, every negotiation.
Okay, so let's make that concrete for, say, an expat or a foreign company listening. What does that bridge building mean for them?
It means Bakheit effectively speaks both languages. He gets the subtle Saudi nuances, the social cues, how business relationships are built locally.
And at the same time?
And at the same time, he understands the global corporate expectations, the communication styles multinational firms prefer, international standards.
So he can translate not just words, but culture and expectations.
You've got it. That dual understanding is incredibly valuable for anyone trying to navigate that cross-cultural professional world. It makes for smoother transitions, more effective teamwork.
Yeah, turning those potential cultural clashes into, well, opportunities.
Exactly. Mutual understanding, mutual success.
There was one more really fascinating detail about his background. Something about getting experience before the formal degree.
Yes. That's something he's mentioned on his podcast, Your Career Success. He gained significant legal experience out in the field before he actually got his formal law degree.
Wow. What are the implications of that?
Think about it. He wasn't just hitting the books in a classroom. He was out there, boots on the ground, dealing with real legal problems.
Seeing how law applies in messy, real-world situations.
Exactly. Witnessing the human side of it all, the complexities, long before he had the official qualification.
So that practical background must give his advice a different flavor.
A unique realism, absolutely. It means his guidance is incredibly grounded. It's relevant for actual situations people face, not just theoretical problems.
So his recommendations aren't just sound on paper.
They're built to work in practice. They're resilient, practical, effective. He helps people navigate complexity with a really nuanced, pragmatic understanding of how things actually play out.
Because he's seen it, he's lived it.
Precisely. That experience fundamentally shapes the wisdom he shares. It's actionable because it comes from action.
Okay, so we have this picture of Bakheit Amri, Saudi, tech-savvy, culturally fluent, grounded in real-world experience. Now, let's use that lens.
Right, let's apply it to understanding the professional landscape in Saudi Arabia itself, which is, as we said, dynamic and sometimes perhaps a bit misunderstood.
Definitely undergoing massive change, especially with Vision 2030.
Absolutely. Vision 2030 promises huge growth, diversification, big societal shifts. You hear about things like NEOM, the mega projects, the economic reforms.
It's ambitious, no doubt. But like any big national strategy, there's complexity under the surface, right? It's not just the glossy headlines.
Exactly. Implementation always has its intricacies. And this is where Bakheit's insights are just indispensable.
He helps look beyond those headlines.
Yes. He examines both the aspirations, the huge potential, and the practical complexities that come with that kind of dynamism.